The Polish craftsmen who were restoring the grave of Saint Judwiga came across a different stone. They lifted it in order to examine what was underneath. A hollow made of charcoal and plaster was discovered. In this video, we will talk about the Polish worker who made an astonishing discovery. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. In March 2020, building on the Basilica of St. Judwiga in Trzebnica, which is located in southwest Poland, got underway. The most senior church members gave the go-ahead for the most recent refurbishment because they were concerned that a small break in a stone tomb would spread. Over the course of many years, efforts to mend have consistently produced a few unexpected results. Marek Buwazima, the mayor of Trzebnica, reported seeing many of them. The find was eventually posted on the town website. In March of 2020, Buwazima stated on the website that she had been involved in the remodeling process from the very beginning. Since burial vaults from the 17th century holding Cistercian nuns and clergy were discovered, it may be said that the restoration of the basilica was a success prior to March 2020. Then, a further discovery that might be even more important was made. The discovery was significant for both religion and history, particularly with regard to Trzebnica. The history of Poland is fascinating, as presented at UC Trzebnica. The town is located in Lower Silesia, an area that has been ruled by a few different kingdoms. Trzebnica, which has a royal connection, is the final resting place of several Polish royals and their spouses. Trzebnica Abbey, the spiritual home of Trzebnica, and the shelter of St. Judwig may be found within the city limits. Henry and Duchess Hedwig of Anditches were the ones who came up with the idea. Hedwig was a member of the Silesian Piast dynasty. He was known for his beard. For the record, Hedwig was later canonized as Saint Judwiga. When Duke Henry was out hunting, he came across a swamp and decided to build an abbey there. If he were to be spared, the sanctuary would be constructed by him. After he had been delivered from his sins, he built the convent in the year 1203. The first nuns were selected by Hedwig's brother, the Bishop of Bamberg. He chose nuns from the Cistercian order. Following the passing of Henry in 1238, Hedwig was accepted as lay sister. Even though she had not taken any vows, she appeared to be religious. Her illustrious family originated in Bavaria, which later became a part of Germany. Due to the fact that Hedwig's brothers held the position of bishop, their family was devout. Hedwig evolved into the most devout member of the group. At the age of 12, she tied the knot with Henry, the Duke of Silesia. In 1201, Henry was locked up by Duke Conrad, who ruled Moravia. In order to demonstrate her loyalty, Hedwig requested that Henry be set free. She was successful, and 2 years later, Conrad terminated Henry's employment. The year after that, Henry was elevated to the position of Duke of Greater Poland and High Duke of Krakow. Henry was the first in his family to establish his authority over Silesia and Krakow. In 1238, he passed away while still holding the title of Supreme Duke of Poland, despite Poland having been partitioned. Despite the fact that she had devoted her entire life to her beliefs, Hedwig eventually suffered a broken heart. She and Henry had a large number of girls, but only one son who reached adulthood. In 1241, during the Mongol conquest of Poland, King Henry II the Pious lost his life. It was fascinating to learn that when Hedwig found the body of her son on the battlefield, she wasn't shocked since she'd gotten a vision prior to the conflict, presumably to mark the occasion of his passing. Hedwig and her daughter-in-law Anna of Bohemia established a Benedictine abbey in the region of Legnicki Pole, which was the battlefield where Henry II was killed. After Henry II's death, Poland was under the power of multiple families, putting an end to any hopes of reuniting the country. Following Hedwig's death in 1243, the Trzebnica convent became a popular destination for pilgrims. Her funeral became legendary for the miracles that occurred. Trzebnica, where she was born and raised, is the location where she is honored by the Roman calendar. The feast day for Hedwig is on the 16th of October. Trzebnica Abbey is where she and her husband are laid to rest. The remnants of her abbey were misplaced throughout the course of time. During the renovation of the abbey in March 2020, it was discovered once more. In order to begin the process of restoring St. Judwiga's tomb, the craftsmen prepared themselves to repair a break that was present in the sarcophagus. Since the stone tomb in issue had been removed after the saint's death, we may determine that this particular piece of craftsmanship dates back to the 1680s. In any case, as the conservators began their work, they observed that one of the slabs presented a visually distinct contrast to the others in the set. The more they looked into it, the more amazed they became. When we lifted the slab, we discovered that a cavity had been filled with charcoal that had been mixed with plaster. This was the first piece of news. We thought this was quite odd, so we decided to investigate further. After that, the workers started chipping away at the black plaster mix with their tools, but they had no idea that every inch they dug would bring them closer to an astounding discovery. They had no notion that every inch they excavated would bring them closer to an amazing discovery. The priest's coat of arms, on the other hand, might have given the wrong impression, given that the casket did not contain his remains, but rather a lead plaque was discovered nearby. The box gave up its contents completely. The remains of Saint Hedwig of Elijah have been kept in the silver casket since the latter half of the 17th century, according to the Latin text that was engraved on the plaque. After several decades, the wig of Saint Jude was discovered in Trebnica. Around 340 years ago, the bones of Saint Hedwig were placed in the silver casket and buried in the tomb. However, no one was aware of their current location. An abbey priest named Father Peter Feel was the one who broke the news to us that the saint's remains had been interred in the vicinity. When her tomb was finished being constructed in 1679, the priest said that the casket's year of manufacture was 1764, which was puzzling. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share and press the bell icon for more regular updates.